Oh, God, your jokes are usually pretty shit. You know what? I'll backpedal there. Your jokes aren't shit. Your delivery of jokes is pretty pathetic. Mine's not any better. I can judge shit, but I'm not telling you I'm any better, though. So what's yours?
Well, it's a dad joke. Well, I'm not going to do my joke now.
Oh, have I upset you?
Yeah. Well, it's more to the point, that I'm an official podcast host. This is our voice. This is what we get to do.
Yeah.
So I've got to get something off my chest. If that's
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
So I had a bit of an outburst today. Lost my temper, yelled, ranted, raved, even raised my hand to someone, and it was one of the women that's very prominent in my life. That's who I've raised my hand to. So I'm not very proud of it, but in my defense, she was getting on my nerves. She kept telling me what to do. She wouldn't shut up. She kept going on and going on and going on. And it got to the point where I said, look, you silly navigation bitch, I know that there is a traffic jam up ahead. It's the fucking M2. There's a traffic jam every day. And then I slapped her and turned it off.
Okay. My mind was wandering 1,000 directions and I'm thinking, A, I'm going to have to hand this into police as a statement. B, this is some kind of backlash from the latest Detroit Beyond Human game or whatever, domestic violence trailer. Or C, this is going to get really awkward from here on in. But anyway, fucking sat nav.
How was that delivery, fuckknuckle?
That was actually really good. It was. See, I'm making you strive to be better. Anyway, let's start the show.
Press start.
This is episode 193, and today is Thursday, the 2nd of November, 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Games Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogs. How are you, man?
I'm fantastic, mate, but there is one problem.
What? Okay.
Nothing ruins a Friday night drinking session like realising it's only Thursday.
I was going to say, it's not Friday night. That'll wreck it.
No, I'm fantastic, mate. I've been in a bit of a weird mood all day. I'm sure I've annoyed a lot of people, and the amount of care that I have, I just don't. But yeah, pretty good. How about yourself? Having fun?
Yeah, man. I've annoyed a few people this week, but I don't care either. Anyway, before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we'll do video game discussion. Then we'll do video game news. And in this week's news, we've got PlayStation Plus games for November 2017. They were finally announced. Paris Games Week. And a dev to can arcade games. Oh, that's no good. Then we'll do user-created content. Then what's that sound? Then last, words. So let's go straight into video game discussion.
Hi, my name is Snoogs, and I have an addiction. And I, against better judgment, picked it up and started it again. The Division.
Oh, you're back to... We haven't heard about The Division in a long time from you.
No, it's... it kind of waned on me a bit there, and I just lost a bit of focus and just wasn't doing it for me. And the other night I just thought, I'll put it back in. Since I've actually got the Pro, I haven't had it on... I haven't even had it installed.
Ooh, mate, those 4K menus.
Yeah, the 4K menus look...
4K HUD.
Yeah, that looks all mint. It's I jumped in. I've been seeing the pages on Facebook that I'm part of and whatnot. There's still a lot of activity there and a lot of people getting involved in it. So I thought, I'll go and see it. And a few people that I've been running around with are still in there having a go. So the night that I got on, no one else was there anyway. But went to the dark zone. Still toxic. Went back out, did a few other little bits and pieces, still the same, and turned it off.
What I would like to ask, and look, maybe I'm a little bit out of school for this because I've not really put much attention towards the Division, but how do we go from PlayStation 4 with the Division to PlayStation 4 Pro with the Division, and the only thing that's enhanced is the menu and the HUD overlay? What else what else have they increased? Because surely the Pro can do better than that.
It loads up a bit quicker.
That's probably the hard drive.
Probably the faster drive.
Maybe, but what is it? What
it
is it
looks
bringing?
A little bit better. The particle effects look a bit better, but they haven't really enhanced anything because it's too old now. Like they're still building on it. They're still going to it, but I think maybe if they enhance it, like now the One X is coming out, they might enhance both of them if we get an official second season or whatnot, or something with the new update. So 1.8 is coming out soon, and with that's an extra part of the map. So whether they throw something on there in regards to Pro or 1X support, I don't know, but yeah, it's not all that exciting.
Oh well. So what else, man? The snow does look pretty.
South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Oh yeah, how you going with that?
Yeah, good. I've restarted it and purposely restarted it and started some streaming. So not many people really come in to say hi the other night, which was quite unfortunate, but that's what happens occasionally. And so restarted it, made the same sort of looking character, and made all that stuff the same just because I thought it looked cool, but went and did a whole lot of stuff a lot differently. And I found something that's slightly wrong. Slightly wrong. I went into the church.
Oh, it'd be like pedophilia stuff for sure.
Yeah, they're little kitty fiddlers.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, but
I hate this game. I dead set hate it. I haven't even played it.
It's not as bad as you think.
But that's not me. I don't know what it is. That's not me. I'm not a prude. I don't shy away from wrong jokes and things like that. But there's just something about the delivery with South Park that just irks me, and I don't like it. I really can't. I don't get it.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but this part of it had things that could make that I could turn into humorous. But like we've said before, I'm a sick fuck. You go into the church and the main priest is there, and they're like, you walk up to one of the doors at the back of the church, and he's talking about, you've got to go on this quest, you've got to go and find yourself, find out who you are, remember what made you like this. And so you go into the back room, and he stays outside, but there's two other priests in this back room that's all dark, and then it comes up with a fight sequence, which is kind of cool. But the priests that are there, one of them does a gross out move where he literally comes and stands behind you and rubs his nipples.
Oh.
The other one pulls rose bead. What are they called? He pretty much pulls out.
Rosary beads.
Rosary, yeah. So he pulls out what you classify as rosary beads.
Oh, where does he pull them out of? Oh, yeah, okay.
Out of his backside. So he's like popping them out like big balls of them, and then starts swinging them around and uses it to belt whoever's in the way.
Right.
And
of course he does.
That's just a little thing where I'm sitting there because it's South Park, and this back door opens, and I'm like, I don't want to go in there. Can I just walk away and just pretend this didn't happen? But you end like it's a cutscene, so you do have to go back there, and then this all happens, and you win the fight, and the priest opens up the door, the original one, and he's like, damn it, I can't put anyone in the dark room without you two bastards showing up, and they run off. Yeah. But it's still South Park.
Yeah, righto. I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah. If you just want to have a look at it, it's my review's up on Aussie Gamers YouTube channel. Yep. So it's quite a bit of fun. I had a bit of fun doing that one, which was good. The other stuff I've been playing is Destiny.
Yep.
I've played Destiny 2 on both the PS4 and the Xbox One. Finally finished the campaign on the Xbox, so it's just now grinding around, and I get to go and run around with some people that are playing solely on the Xbox, which is a bit of fun. What else has there been? I think there's been a bit of Forza, which is always good, and a nice little one that I got to play a little bit of last night, which is looking rather cute and rather fun. So big shout out to Xbox Australia. They've given us Super Lucky's Tale. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Super Lucky's Tale, yes. On the,
Super Lucky's Tale.
The Xbox One. Yeah, that was a point of conjecture for when I went and played the Xbox One X in Sydney about a month ago now or so, when I went down there and played it on the dev kits, and it ran like balls in cheese.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment really on much of it because I've played maybe 20 minutes, half an hour just before I went to bed last night. It popped up that it was ready to go, so I thought I'd give it a crack.
Yeah, I gave it a quick go this afternoon as well, just for the sake of checking it out on the Xbox One S. And I got up to the point that I played on the Xbox One X dev kit in Sydney. I didn't have the same issue.
Well, that's a good start.
In saying that, it wasn't running in 4K and it wasn't running at 60 frames a second. But yeah, I'll have to play it a little bit more, and I'll address the same portion of the game later on with the issue that I had in the past. We'll see if it's still there.
Let's see if we can wind up some fanboys, eh?
Yeah, I'll try it out on the original Xbox too, and see if that's any different.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have there was a little bit of stuttering, but it could have been too that it was after midnight and I was just tired. I'll have a bit more of a play and get a review together over the next couple of days. But it feels very familiar.
Yeah, it's one of those games.
Yeah, but it feels light. It feels fun. I get a bit of a Banjo-Kazooie sort of vibe from it. Yeah. I like it when these games come out. Look, I mean, although they're not the biggest, greatest blockbuster game coming out, but it's nice when a good game like this comes out when you've got kids, because you're like, oh, finally there's a game I can play in front of my child and let them have a go. Yep.
Not that I'm complaining that there's not enough kids games, but it's nice to see one of these come along every now and then.
Yeah, well, you don't exactly have to think about, oh shit, is anyone here? Are they going to see it? You just can let them go.
My daughter saw me playing it this afternoon. She goes, oh, have you got Super Lucky's Tale? I'm like, yep. She goes, oh, did you get an Xbox One X? And I said, no. She goes, well, how are you playing it then? And I said, that's magic.
Oh, you're the best, Dad.
And she said, can I have a go? And I said, nah, go away.
Nope, sorry, not allowed. Yes, I'm going to hopefully we'll be able to get some streams together to show a few people, and yeah, make sure you check us out.
Cool.
Twitch and Mixer.
We'll talk about that one a little bit more next week, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Other than
that's it.
I think that's about it. Yeah, I've yeah. I think that's about done. I've got something else in the back of my head. Oh, Siege. I'm always playing Siege. But,
cool. Anything noteworthy, or just Siege?
Just Siege. I went VR Worlds. I've finally been able to get to do some VR stuff. I put my wife, who's ridiculously afraid of sharks, into the underwater where the sharks attack.
That's nice of you.
Then laughed at her when she pulled her legs up out of the way so the shark wouldn't bite them off.
Fell over, smashed your headset.
No, I made sure she was sitting down because I knew how she'd react.
There you go. All right, well, how about I stumble through what I've been playing this week. I might start with. Well, I'm going to give you the choice. Would you like me to talk about? Wolfenstein 2, Super Mario Odyssey, or Spelunky Party first?
Let's get Spelunky out of the way.
Spelunky Party.
Spelunky
you know
Party.
what? I looked at that because I'd played Spelunker. No, whatever that one is. There's a free-to-play version on PlayStation 4, right? I think it's called Spelunky. So this one's actually called Spelunker Party, not Spelunky Party. Oh, it's bloody confusing. But anyway, essentially, what it is it's a platformer where you're going underground spelunking. Do you know what spelunking is? Not a lot of people do.
It's pretty much cave exploration.
Yes, spelunking is exploring,
Using
basically.
ropes and shit, yeah.
So many people, because I use the word spelunking as a kind of sarcastic term. Like if somebody says, "What are you doing?" I'll say, "I'm spelunking for pens," just to be a bit silly, you know. And when I say that, more often than not, the people in my company are like, "You're what?" I said, "I'm spelunking. Do you not know what spelunking means?" They're like, "No." What?
I used to use the phrase "an emu." I'm going on an emu.
Going on an emu what?
Bob.
Emu Bob.
Because emus always steal shit and go and hide it.
Right. Okay. That's a great story for another time. But when I use the word spelunking because of the Ninja Turtles movie. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where Michelangelo says, "I'm spelunking for pork rinds."
Yeah.
Ever since then, I looked up what that word meant because it didn't make sense to me when I was like 9. And I used that word ever since because I learnt what it was from the Ninja Turtles movie. So, there you go. Anyway, a little bit of history there. Spelunker Party is... Yeah, it's a cave exploration game where you look around, solve puzzles. But the thing is, it's actually pretty brutal and old school arcadey, right? So you can't fall any further than the height of your character. So if you like, it might be a small ledge, and 99.9 of other platformer games, you can just jump off it. In Spelunker Party, if you jump off this edge or just step off it, you'll die. Even to the point whereas if the ground that you're walking on is sloped down and you jump, you will die. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because, you know, if you jump on a slope, you're going to fall further because of the angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll die just from jumping, not falling. You've literally just jumped. You will die. So you need to be really careful. So to get down, you have to climb vines, either down or up, and you need to judge everything just right. Otherwise, you'll die. And so you walk around the levels. There's like a timer, which also is sort of disguised as like an energy meter or a stamina bar. So you need to keep refilling your stamina by going up to these little loadout things on the level. It's kind of just a refill station. And you've got enemies that will attack you. You've got a little ray gun thing. You can throw flares up into the air, which will scare away bats, so they stop dropping stuff on you. And you can put down... I think they are shitting on you. That's actually what it looks like. You can put down bombs on the ground to blow up rocks and rubble that's in your way. And strange enough, like you start playing it and you think, oh god, this is a little bit childish. And then, you know, you just get lost in it because it's actually quite satisfying the way the game is, and it tests you. Although the early levels are quite simple, they do ramp up and get pretty tricky. And you find yourself like an hour later thinking, oh, well, I wasn't going to play this for 5 minutes. But you can just put in 5 minutes, or you can put in an hour and a half, 2 hours. It'll suck you right in. But I should mention I'm playing Spelunker Party on my brand new Nintendo Switch that I got between now and the last podcast. The Switch is a little powerhouse son of a bitch, man. It's pretty impressive. I'm very happy with it.
I'm starting to very much hear that from a lot of people. the more things that, like, it was a bit sort of a rocky start with just sort of Zelda.
Yeah.
But the more people that are getting more on it, I've not heard a negative off anyone.
Yeah, no, she's good. I'll go into it a little bit more, but essentially finishing up Spelunker Party, lots of gameplay. There's collectibles like different outfits, different familiars that will follow you around and give you assistance, and you can play it split screen multiplayer. You can play online multiplayer. It's a pretty damn good setup, that game. Like, I mean, it's no world beater or anything, but it's a very good companion to have on your Nintendo Switch if that's where you decide to play it, because it's available on PC as well. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but it's one of those games that I actually wouldn't mind going and playing on a long car trip. I mean, you can go and play your Zelda and your Mario on a car trip, but those games are going to chew your battery, yeah? Like 3D and all that sort of stuff, all that processing power. You're gonna get a couple of hours of gameplay. Something a little bit simpler like this, like platformers, they're going to get a little bit more time out of your battery, and it's a good fun game to play. I've got a video up on YouTube. It's a video review, whatever you call them, on Spelunker Party. Go and check it out so you can see some gameplay, and I'll explain a little bit about what I thought of it over there as well. So check that out. Give it a thumbs up and a comment or something like that if you wouldn't mind to. That's great. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch itself, man, I went into it, and dude, there are hundreds of games already on that thing. Like there's obviously not a billion first party AAA games, but there's heaps of third party indie games available, and for a Nintendo console, most of them are reasonably priced as well. Normally, are they the sort of games that are more aimed at the Japanese market? No. They're the same. No, same things that are on PlayStation and Xbox, like Super Meat Boy. There's I'm just rattling off the top of my head here. Twist the freaking thing in half. Yeah, you probably break it playing that. There's Binding of Isaac, which I saw that one's really expensive. I don't know why that was so expensive. What else is there? Would it run something like Limbo? It would. I don't know how the licenses work there, so I don't know. But yeah, it would play Limbo. Easy. Easy. Yeah, but that sort of style, would there be a lot of games with that sort of style in it? Or, whether it be Limbo or Little Nightmares or whatever? Oh, look, I don't know if there are. I want them, but there's a lot of indie games on there, and not strange indie games like you were suggesting, like Japanese stuff. It's all indie games that you'll recognise. It's just I can't rattle them off very good off the top of my head. I haven't got notes on them, but there's heaps of games there, reasonably priced, and I was really impressed by it. Now I've not had a lot of time on the Switch so far, and I have only used it docked. I haven't even bothered playing it handheld. I don't know why I would. I'm at home and I have a TV, but I bought the Pro controller. Sorry? What about when you take a crap? Oh, look, you could, but I don't know. I still find it awkward holding while taking a shit, I would imagine. Like it's... when I'm playing my games, I like to be... You've got your poo computer, yeah. Yeah, I use my phone. Your phone's light. It's one-handed just in case I need to help. No. Anyway, no. Switch. So how about those games? Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I've played Super Mario Odyssey this week as well, and that game blows me away at how good it looks on the Switch, playing it on the TV. Mate, it's beautiful. Look, it's not 4K. It's not PS4 Pro. It's not Xbox One X or anything like that. But it's more than enough for a Mario game. It looks amazing. Sorry, man. For next week, you'll have to play it handheld and let me know what you think the difference is. Yeah, okay. I will. Yeah, like I haven't played it at all handheld. I've played it handheld. Yeah. And it blew me away just how good it looked. Well, it drops in fidelity in handheld mode from the research I've done. But the downscale, because you're on a small screen, it's not really noticeable. So I wouldn't really... I would forecast that I would probably be blown away anyway. And but the game itself as well, Super Mario Odyssey, is true to Nintendo, true to Super Mario. It's super charming. It's super fun. It's full of surprises. You know, things you're like, I really didn't expect that to be in there, but it is. Like, spoiler alert, first level that I went to, you can be a dinosaur.
I have heard of that, yeah.
Not Yoshi. A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Massive. It's so good with the Cappy mechanic, because the story is I don't know. It's silly as always, but Mario meets up with a little character called Cappy, who imitates Mario's cap because it gets destroyed, and they become friends to go and rescue. Cappy's in it because he wants to rescue his girl, which is a tiara, and you want to go and rescue Princess Peach, right? So you join forces. So essentially the cap that you're wearing in Super Mario Odyssey is alive. It's an actual character. So throwing your hat, or cappy, at some enemies will give you control of that enemy. So you can become a frog, you can become dinosaurs, you can become these like big rock creatures and stuff like that. And that game mechanic is absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. I've not played a terrible lot. I've only played a couple of hours. But there's a lot there, and there's heaps of stuff in the levels. The levels are huge, so kind of like a semi-open world game. Kind of like, it's probably the closest thing to Super Mario 64 that I've played since Super Mario 64, I guess. You know, you used to go into the paintings.
Yep.
And it would be sort of like an open world, and there'd be all those stars that you had to collect. Well, it's essentially the same kind of setup. This time they're moons. And these moons that you're getting, the power moons, are used to power up the Odyssey, which is the spaceship that you're using to fly from different place to place, chasing Bowser to try and catch Princess or rescue Princess and all that. So that's essentially the premise of the game. So you go through all these different worlds. And look, it's early days. I've only played it a couple of hours, but I'm forecasting 10 out of 10 for this little baby. It's beautiful. Amazing. Totally worth. I essentially paid $500 to play this game because it's the only reason I wanted the Switch. Now, obviously, there are a lot of things that will come, great things that will come from it, but that's the reason I bought it.
Oh, why not, mate? It's not like it's coming out on anything else.
Well, no, that's it. I wanted to play it, so I got that. Now, obviously, I'll play other games and enjoy them, I would imagine. But yeah, this is the one that pushed me over the edge to make sure I got a Switch. Even when they announced the Switch, I think they also announced Odyssey at the same time, did they? I think they did, yes.
They did, but you were very adamant that... I get that.
Their biggest mistake was telling me that Super Mario Odyssey was coming out in October, because even from that day, I'm like, that's when I'm getting my Switch, in October, and that's when I got it. But anyway, all right, let's move on to Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. FYI, the review is my video review is now available on YouTube, so go and check that out if you like. Give it a thumbs up, please, and subscribe if you haven't.
If you like, you have to. I was cackling most of the way through that.
Oh, you watched it, did you?
Yeah, yep, and watch it right to the end, everyone.
What do I do? Oh, yeah, that's right.
You'll get a laugh out of the end. It's well worth.
Yeah, so Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, I graciously got that from... who was that from? Microsoft? Microsoft sent that to us? Bethesda did. Oh, thank you very much to the Bethesda crew for sending us the review copy there. I played that on the Xbox One. Now, I'll get the negative out of the way straight up. Okay, it's once again, the Xbox One is the worst place to play this game.
Were you playing on your original or the S?
I was playing on the S.
Ooh.
Although it shouldn't make a terrible amount of difference between the Fat and the S, but it is.
Isn't the S overclocked though?
No.
Sorry, I'm just always thought the S had a little bit more poke to it.
I think it does have a little bit more poke, but only for the sake of outputting 4K like streaming services and stuff, and like your Blu-ray and all that sort of stuff. I don't think it processes the games any better than the original. But anyway, in saying that's the worst place to play it, I didn't have any issues in playing it whatsoever. The biggest and most obvious thing is the resolution. I think it's only like 8. I've got it in my review. I don't remember because I had it written down. 810. 8. What'd you say?
800p-ish.
Yeah. So it's like 810 or something, like 1440 by 810p. So I mean, it's sub 900p. The resolution is very low. You can notice it. There are a few times where I was looking at the focus of what was in the middle of the screen, and it kind of looks blurry. And I'm playing on a 65-inch 4K TV, but it's not using the pixels at all. It was blurry and kind of a little bit disappointing, but the upside of things is it ran buttery smooth. And I can tell you that in the 12 hours or so of gameplay that I played the whole game, I think I might have had 2 instances where I noticed a frame skip. And I think that was after I finished the campaign and went back to try out a couple of the different options. So it doesn't look the best here, but it still runs beautiful. So I got to commend it for that, because I'm the sort of person, Pat, that I will sacrifice resolution for the sake of a game running smoothly, because I hate it when frames go up and down, and I hate it when they skip. It just breaks everything, I think. And that's me. Some people don't mind that. Me, I would prefer a smooth game experience than crisp, clear graphics. In saying that as well, although the resolution is fairly low, the graphics themselves, which is separate to the resolution that they're shown at, are awesome. They are a massive leap since the previous Wolfenstein game, and this time round it uses a different engine. It uses the Doom engine. Mm-hmm. Which allows it to have better lighting, better particle effects, and obviously higher scope of graphics as well. That it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, there's a few points in the review that it actually felt very Doom-like.
Yes, and very good reason.
When you were shooting one of the energy weapons that was dissolving.
Yeah, that laser thing, laser Kraftwerk, I think it's called. I tried to learn all these sort of German words. What about in the review when I said that German? I spoke the German. Well, not really. I think I said SS Commander or something like that in German. Believe it or not, that was my first take. And I went, right, that's it. I'm not touching that again. That was seriously my first take. That was the first time that came out of my mouth. I didn't even practice it before I said it. I was tempted to put in a little footnote on the video saying that was my first take saying that. But I left it out. And we will. But look, Frau Engel, if you played the original Wolfenstein game, she was in that one. She got her face blown apart. She's come back now with a bit of plastic surgery done. Her face is all back together and all that sort of stuff. But she shines, man. She is villain. Oh, she's a great villain. Oh, she's a vast Montenegro is what she is.
Shit, up with that.
100%. 100%. There are moments in this game that make you go, I can't believe what I just witnessed. I can't believe that's in this game. Whether it be because it's very shocking and you didn't expect that to happen, or if it's just, I can't believe they put this in the game. That's ridiculous. But for everything that I thought was ridiculous, I loved it 10 times the ridiculous factor. I loved it. Taking away the performance issue, I can't fault Wolfenstein 2. It's fantastic. The characters are great. You very easily fall in love with the characters and care about them. Mm-hmm. Even some of the side characters that don't have a lot to do with the story, you feel for them and you like them. The character development is so good, regardless of how ridiculously over the top the game is. It's over the top. It's crazy. It's action. It's everything it should have been. It's bigger than the first, which is what a good sequel is supposed to do.
It's everything Wolfenstein.
It is everything Wolfenstein. And to think this all came from that original Wolfenstein 3D from the old 286 PCs back in the day, or whatever it was on, it all sort of branched off from there. Mind you, while I'm on the note, I didn't mention it in the review, but you can actually play the original Wolfenstein again. This time it's not sectioned off as I think originally it was like a nightmare. BJ would have nightmares, and in those nightmares you would play the original Wolfenstein. Now you can just go to an arcade machine in your little hub world and just play it. So that's a neat little addition to the game there. But mate, it's so good. So good. There are like a few moments, like early on, you have to make a choice between saving one of your friends and sacrificing the other. And I just sort of flipped a coin, essentially, not realizing how big a difference it actually makes to the game. The dynamic, because I went back and tried the other one and played it for a few hours. The dynamic really does change. And in my review, I give what I think is good sound advice that you should go and check out before making your decision at the beginning of the game. Because you choose between Fergus or Wyatt. Two very different characters.
Okay, it's a good bit of advice. It doesn't really spoil anything, so...
No, I made sure to leave out everything I could, but wanted to give a little bit of advice so there's some foresight, or at least some intelligence going into the choice you do make. And then later on in the game as well, there's another decision you can make which will enhance your gameplay, which will also give you a little bit more replayability if you want to go back and try it out. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, 10 out of 10, absolutely. Game of the Year contender. You heard
Just
it.
Good fun, hey?
Yeah, good fun, great story. No fluffing around with multiplayer or co-op. It's just, we think our game's good enough to stand alone without the added sales pitch of multiplayer. And it does. And it does. It's fantastic. I loved it.
Now, we heard from one of the guys at...
the EB Expo? Is that what you're talking about?
EB Expo, yep.
Yeah, yep.
One thing he brought up was that it was always envisioned to be a trilogy. Now, is it left completely open, or does it close off? Or
well,
is it sort of like it could go either way.
Look, it could go either way, but it's very easy to see that they won the battle, but the war is not over.
Okay, yep.
So, although it does finish off like a good entry does, like a season on TV, like a TV show, there's closure there, but it's not completely finished. So yeah, there's plenty to do. I could very easily see why there would be a third coming.
And I did see a spoiler on the internet about it.
About
all along.
What's that?
Someone put up a spoiler for Wolfenstein.
It was Hitler all along.
It was Hitler all along.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a little something about that, which I've not mentioned once again in the review. It's not something that's, like part of the main story, so to speak. But it's also not something that I think anybody should mention. I think that's something you need to experience for yourself.
Cool. Never
in a million years would you guess what this sequence is from what I'm alluding to here. You just this scene that I'm referring to now actually had me like crazily laughing. Like it was like a madman's laugh. It actually made me stop and think, what is wrong with me? But it's really hard because I do want to talk about it, but I don't want to ruin it for you or anybody else listening. But there is one scene in particular that was as weird as it was amazing.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, as weird as it was amazing. It's man, 10 out of 10. Fuck it, it gets 15 out of 10. It was so good.
Can't wait to have a go.
Amazing. All right, well that's it. Let's wrap up video game discussion. I'm done. You got any questions about it?
No, just make sure everyone gets over and has a look at the review. It's well worth it. Like I said at the beginning, watch it all the way to the end.
Please do give it a thumbs up. You don't even have to, I don't even care. Look, go there, have a look. If it's not your cup of tea, give it a thumbs up and nick off. Whatever, that helps us. Anything to support us, and we are very thankful. But give it a watch. All right, let's finish up video game discussion and go into video game news. Okie doke. First up in the news this week, we've got PlayStation Plus games for November 2017. Is it just me, Snoogs, or are these getting later and later and later as we go on?
Oh, mate, once I saw the release, they could have kept it for another week.
Are you kidding?
It's good, and I'm not one really to complain about, free games, because I'm paying for the service. I'm all cool with that. Are
you not happy with them?
Not particularly, no.
Do we have the same list?
Worms, Bound, and the Rush of Blood or whatever it is.
Rush of Blood, yeah.
Yeah. I can't play Rush of Blood because I don't have the move controls. Worms is just Worms. It's always fun, I suppose, but I've already got a Worms on there. And Bound, I've played it.
Right. Well, sorry, what'd you say about Worms?
I've already got a Worms on the PlayStation.
Which one?
I don't know if it's on there. It's in my library somewhere with it.
But you know what's great about them putting Worms? Is that it's guaranteed that all of us are going to have it. So I might not have the one you have, or you might not have the one I've got. But we're all going to have Worms Battlegrounds. We can play some Worms. That's great. That's good news. Worms is an awesome game. They're good fun. Bound. I've not played Bound, but it's a PlayStation VR game. All right, I'll give it a go. That's tops. Until Dawn, I've wanted to play that for a long time. I just haven't got around to paying for it. So I'm cheering. I'm cheering with that one. That's You is also there, but that's been there for the last 3 months, 4 months, or whatever it is. R-Type Dimensions for the PS3, Ragdoll Kung Fu, Fists of Plastic for the PS3, Dungeon Punks for the Vita and PS4, and Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, Episode 1 and 2 on the Vita. Oh, yes, please! I love those games. They're great. It's good stuff. And they're expensive. So I don't have that one. That one's like $30-40. Oh, that's steep. So yeah, got that one. Cheering. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy with it.
I'm happy that you're happy.
Oh, that's nice, dude.
I'm not happy. I'm just not
overjoyed, mate. If you want to play Rush of Blood, I'll lend you my sticks. What are they called? Move controllers.
Move controllers, yeah.
You can borrow those. Or you could not be a tight ass and go and buy a set, seeing as though your VR was free.
I suppose if you put it like that.
Yeah. You're still in the green, bro. But anyway, that was PS Plus games for November. That was only announced
today.
Today.
Like
It's
the first thing this morning it started popping up.
we normally get
And it's
these.
the 2nd of November.
Yeah, we would usually get these leaks or announcements like a week before the new month starts. Now it's the end of the new month. Like we got the Xbox games with gold. I think we had them on last week's podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Sony are getting tight with giving out the information or leaking or whatever. So anyway, it's out now. Those are the games. The list is over on the website if you want to follow it up with what they are later. All right, next up in the news, Paris Games Week. Now, I don't have a list here of everything, and we won't ramble on about it too much, as though these are videos. You're probably better off going across to our YouTube channel and checking them out. They're all the ones that I've got here, I believe. Or bar one, I think
I've got 2 or 3 still to put up.
Anyway,
Just the noise of time and internet, it's taking its time.
They're on YouTube anyway. But the first one I wanted to mention, Snoogs, did you see Hong Kong Massacre?
Yes.
Yeah, top-down Max Payne looking shooter.
Yeah, kind of a Max Payne, Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Even a bit of a throwback to the old Postal.
Oh yeah.
I've got a bit of that vibe off it. Yeah, sort of ultra stylized, ultra violent. Yeah, just a sort of triad war.
Yeah, and the jumping slow-mo stuff and all that. Look really cool. So check out Hong Kong Massacre. That was announced and it looks fantastic. What about, you saw Erica? Remember that one?
Erica.
It was a PlayLink tile. It's a title, sorry. Where you could...
I don't remember that one. No.
It's full motion video, so the like actual actors with a story-based game where you can choose your own adventure with your smartphone. No?
Okay.
She's
in
like a, it starts off, the girl is in a phone booth. I think it's raining and some words pop up that you can select with your phone for what to say. Although I don't think it's going to be a world beater or something amazing. I like these kind of games because they don't use a controller. You can use a smartphone, and it's something that I can sit down with my wife and play together.
Yeah.
Because she's not put off by the fact that there's 10,000 buttons to press. It's all done on a phone, which she's very versed with because of Facebook and Candy Crush. So that was a dig at my wife, by the way, because she's a shit gamer. But yeah, so Erica looks really cool. I like that one. And then there was Blood and Truth PlayStation VR. I think you mentioned that you were excited for the VR games that were announced at Paris Games Week, and I imagined that this is the game that did it for you. Is it?
No, it was. Oh. Well, that one, the Blood and Truth one, was that the one with the pirate ships in the air? No, I don't know.
No, Blood and Truth is the expansion on the London Heist.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and actually looks really good.
Different one, but yeah, it's Yeah, it looks like it was quite engrossing.
Well, it was one of my complaints because I loved London Heist so much, but it was so short. It's good to see a similar style game coming out that looks like it's going to be a full version, sort of full-length game, which I'm really excited for. First-person shooter where you've got free range, free movement, not just sort of stuck behind cover or anything like that. You can go around shooting people. Looks fantastic. Next one, I've got Ghosts of Tsushima. You saw that one?
I did indeed.
From Sucker Punch, the guys that made Infamous. It's their new game. It was only a cinematic trailer. There was no sort of gameplay, but it was exciting to see that it's in feudal Japan. I like that. As long as it's not like a Dark Souls clone.
I don't think they'd do something like that.
Because we've already got Neo.
They've always had Sucker Punch has always had a very unique way of doing things.
It is I think it's going to be an open world game though. So yeah, it looks good. It looks good. But yeah, it's just a cinematic though. There was no actual gameplay though. But looking cool. Detroit Beyond Human. That trailer was pretty confronting. It was the domestic violence trailer. When I watched that, I went, "Oh, you're joking! No, That's horrible. And then it shows you the different options. You're like, oh, you can make a difference. You can make sure that doesn't happen. Oh,
Yeah,
that was horrible, wasn't it?
After realizing just how engrossed and how much pain after playing it at the expo a few weeks ago, I got all those sensations come rushing back.
This one's
just
worse.
Just watching it. Oh, and that was a lot worse. And I'm sitting there going, no, we don't do that. No, what? No, don't go there. Don't do this. Oh, you're kidding me. And when I'm going to talk about it because it's everywhere. It's on our YouTube channel and everything. When you walk into the room and the guy, Daddy's not angry anymore, and puts a little girl down on the ground, I've just gone, oh, no. What? Did he just? No,
yeah. Well, I looked at it and I thought, oh, fuck off. She's dead. He's killed her.
Yeah, I literally had nothing. My brain was stuttering. Just.
Oh. What about the head of the dad? You look at the head of him and you're just like, that's a face you could beat the shit out of.
Yes.
Oh, he just looks like
happily beat the snot out of that.
Oh, it looks like just a dead set piece of shit, that bloke. Oh, it brings back it. I don't have any memories like that. Trust me. I didn't mean to say that. It brings forward a lot of anger and angst, and it really does shout out domestic violence, which is very prominent in a lot of societies, which is a shame. But this game don't pull no punches. It's like this could happen.
It's that investment again. It's you're automatically drawn back into it. It was unbelievable.
There's been a lot of outcry about it, man. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
There's a lot of complaints going out there to Sony and to Quantic Dream saying that it's horrible that they're showing themes like this. Domestic violence with even the death of a child. And I think people are sort of taking from it that they're sort of stylizing this kind of violence. But Sony have replied back. I think it was Sony. It was either Sony or Quantic Dream, the developers for this. They've come back and said, listen, we're making adult-themed games for adults. This isn't... And it's not taken lightly. They're not poking fun at domestic violence. This is an art canvas. They are expressing themselves through video game, and it is a damn brilliant way to do it. As much as it's hard hitting, it's no different to a emotional section in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's an R18 game. It's an adult game for adults. That's as simple as that. Don't go complaining. If you can't handle that stuff, just don't get it. Don't play it. Don't watch it. Yeah. That's the thing. But yeah, it's pretty hard hitting though. All right. What was the one that made you go ooh and ah?
Ultra Wings VR.
Oh, that's what I didn't even watch that one.
You're pretty much flying around in a little plane.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's you're in the cockpit and you're flying along and you can look out and I think you can do like crop dusting and.
That's got a different meaning for me these days.
God.
I'm looking at it now. I'm watching the video now.
Yeah, like it's just this cool, quirky little thing.
That could be cool.
They showed a bit more of the Ace Combat VR section as well, which I'm hanging for. You know, I had my dreams of being a pilot of a jet crushed.
When you realised you wouldn't fit in the cockpit?
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I actually went.
You were like 18 feet tall, dude.
I went for my interview and everything, and the guy just looked like he stood me up and measured me and went, "Dude, you're too tall."
Yeah,
great. This is like, you know, I'd worked all through everything. I was like nearly 18 when they told me.
That was the day that you also realised that your dreams of being a jockey were also crushed.
No, that was long before when the horses started fighting me.
Oh, that's funny. This kind of looks like a high-fidelity version of Pilot Wings.
Yeah, kind of. So that, and I've also watched Stifled. So I found out about Stifled from I think it was from the Hong Kong show earlier this year.
Mm.
So Stifled is a VR game where everything's blacked out, and you have the choice. You can make noise, which will give you like an echolocation sort of thing, like a bat.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now, yeah.
Yeah. But when you make a noise, the other things that are hunting you can hear you as well. So you have to choose, when you're going to make noise, how are you going to get through this next section? If you kick something on the ground and it'll give you something like it'll give you a walkway you've got to go along, and then you turn something and it'll give you a different style, or that looks like it's something that will really do your head in.
That's Stifled Anxiety Simulator.
Yes, and then you've got Sprint Vector, which is the vomit simulator.
Sprint Vector?
Sprint Vector.
All right, I'll have a look at that.
So Sprint Vector is a first-person, super speed running, rollerblading, skating sort of thing.
Oh, wow. Do you get to, go on dates with your boyfriend too? Rollerblading. That's like that joke. What's the hardest thing about learning to rollerblade? Telling your parents that you're gay. Yeah, it is a bit of a vomit simulator, that one.
That's cool. And there was also Megalith, which is you fight as a monster that's trying to become a titan. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. Looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one as well. Would become a god. Oh, the trailer doesn't really give away a lot. Oh, it looks cool with the monster hands and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't really show you very much, the trailer. Nothing that amazing. But anyway, look, the big one that I wanted to talk about. Dude, The Last of Us Part 2... What?
What? Before you get to the big one, what about Resident Evil?
Oh, what is it, DLC?
Yeah, it's the next chapter. So it's part of DLC, so it's you come back as Chris Redfield.
Oh, yes, that was teased ages ago. I thought it was dead.
Thing in VR.
Yeah, well, that's keeping in line with the main game. But I thought that was gone. I thought it was dead because I hadn't heard anything about it.
Yeah, well, I thought so as well. But as soon as it come up and you watched Rob from PlayStation Access, start to sweat profusely and get a bit excited about it because Chris is back. But it looks like a bit of fun.
Yeah, right. I'll get into that.
And of course, sorry for cutting you off, mate. You're nice and
look, The Last of Us Part 2. The Naughty Dog have come out with a surprisingly new trailer from The Last of Us Part 2, and I saw a lot of comments on some of the YouTube videos where people are going, "Oh my god, that's Ellie." That's not Ellie. There is no way in the world that is Ellie, unless she found a way how to cure herself and get rid of the scar from her hand and maybe get rid of the tattoo. I know there could be this could be before she got the tattoo, but the scar would be there. She's got nothing on her hands. And
Did you see Neil's tweet?
Beg your pardon?
What's his name? Neil Druckmann?
Oh, Druckmann? No, I haven't seen his tweet, but just hold on a second.
You haven't seen his tweet?
No, I am following him, and I do have his the little bell selected to be announced. When was it?
The day it came out. Within minutes of showing the trailer.
No, I didn't see it. But hold fire. Don't say anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm watching going, no, there's no way in the world that is Ellie. That is another character that's coming into the fold, into the mix. She's jacked, man. She's like real muscly, this chick. She looks like a real strong-willed character. But she did sound a little bit like Ellie. And so, because people going, oh, that's her voice. I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of does sound like her, but I'm pretty convinced it's not her. We've seen what Ellie looks like in The Last of Us Part 2. It's not her.
Really good.
It does, yeah, it does. It looks like an older version of Ellie. It looks really good. This does. This kind of looked a little bit like Michelle Rodriguez with a beefcakeness and all that sort of stuff. But that trailer, just any time I see someone suffocating, because she ends up getting hanged. Every time I see someone suffocating, whether it be, choked or underwater, do you hold your breath?
Occasionally, yeah.
I tend to do it. I'm like,
yeah.
God! And I'm thinking, fucking cut it down! Anyway, so pretty graphic with the clipping of the wings and the hammer and the breaking of the arm and all that sort of stuff. Real hard hitting. But that's the thing that makes me really confident for The Last of Us Part 2, because that's what The Last of Us is. If you remember the cutscenes with Joel and the hunters sticking a knife in the guy's kneecap ready to pop it off because he wants to find out where they're holding Ellie. Oh, just brutal. That's what The Last of Us is. It's hard-hitting, brutal, realistic in an unrealistic environment. Really amazing. Speculating as to who they are, I think it probably is a little bit hard to tell. But,
well, there's been a lot of speculation about who that woman is.
Ellie's mum, maybe?
That's one thing that's been thrown around quite predominantly.
Yeah, I've seen that being thrown up there. I believe that more than anything else, really. But I can't remember what happened to Ellie's mum. That's probably one of the areas of The Last of Us that I'm pretty weak with. I remember reading letters from her, but I don't remember if there's anything about her fate. What happened to her? Is she still alive? I mean, but I suppose regardless of anything that you hear in sort of or read in backstory stuff, anything could be tweaked to bring them back. I suppose that's the thing. That's the beauty of storytelling. You can sort of twist and turn things. What was this tweet?
All right, so he put out 3 tweets, one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay.
So we've got the woman that gets her wings clipped.
Yes, the Asian female.
Yeah.
Yep.
Introducing Victoria Grace is Yara.
Yes, Yara. She's referred to as Yara. Yep.
Yep. Then the one that comes in with the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
Ian
the
Alexander is Lev.
young boy. Yeah, Lev. Yep.
With a guest appearance from Emily Swallow as Emily, who was the bad woman. One causing the problem.
Yep.
And then it's got the last one. And finally, Laura Bailey is, and then it's whited out.
Would it white it out? How'd they do that?
Well, they've just put like how when they retract it, like you put a mark over it so you can't read it.
Is it a picture?
Hold on.
Is it a picture or not?
It's hard. Yeah, well, it's written, but it's hard to explain. I'll just send it to you.
No. Is the tweet text or is it a photo, like a picture?
Bit of both.
What do you mean a bit of both?
Just look at your damn photos.
What photos?
I just messaged it to you.
Okay, the text is whited out. That's what you say. Yeah. No, it's not a photo, Luke.
Well, there's a photo underneath it.
Yes, but the text isn't, which is what we're talking about.
The text is whited out.
Right, gotcha. Okay, I don't know how they do that, but Laura Bailey is right. Okay, let's just hammer her. Who are ya? Good old Laura Bailey. Never heard of her. I'll look into that. No, I've not seen those tweets.
No, they come up 2 days ago.
Naughty dog. Yeah, I've got them to come up as notifications on my my Twitter. But they didn't. Good work. Lovely. That's fantastic work there by Twitter app. But anyway, look, maybe it's Ellie's mum.
Did you find
too
it
obvious
to be a little too brutal for a a trailer, so to speak.
R18.
But the show itself was only M rated.
Oh, look, yeah, probably. for M rating, I suppose all he did was break her arm. Oh, there was an axe in the head too.
There was an axe in the head.
And an arrow in the face. Yeah, probably was.
Yeah, someone being strung up and
hanged. Yeah, probably. Oh, dear.
That's the only other thing I've heard about it. There's been a lot of people saying, that it was too violent for a trailer.
Yeah, well, that's the internet. It's on the internet. It wasn't on primetime TV, so if you're, that's right. Your parents should be watching what you're looking at on the internet anyway. But anyway, look, it looks good. I'm going to look into it to find out who this Laura Bailey character is and see what speculation I can come up with. Anyone listening, probably Brendan Brownie Brown, you listen to the show. Who do you think it is?
I reckon it's going to be a closely guarded secret one.
It will be, but I reckon it'll get cracked. Unless it's a new character, then I guess that'll never really come out. All right, let's move on. That was Paris Games Week. Awesome stuff there. Housemarque are quitting arcade shooters. Now, do you know who Housemarque are?
I have to be honest and say no.
Fair call. Super Stardust, have you heard of that?
Rings a bell. It's only a very small bell, but it's ringing on.
You know what Resogun is, right?
Yeah.
And Metaphor?
Yeah, didn't we play that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, we did. Okay, so these guys make all these games. They're all sort of in the same sort of vein. They're arcade shooters, score chasers, etc., etc. I love them. I think they're great. However, these guys are from Finland. So Finnish developers Housemarque have announced that they are moving away from the genre that they've become well known for, arcade shooters. The reasoning, as explained by Housemarque's CEO, is one of a financial one. And here is what they say. Lackluster sales of Nex Machina have led us to thinking that it is time to bring our long-standing commitment to the arcade genre to an end. While this genre will always hold a special place in our hearts, the industry is moving more towards multiplayer experiences with strong, robust communities, and it is time for Housemarque to move forward with the industry. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they're kind of right. But does that mean the industry's right?
Well, see, what I think of it is, okay, fair enough, they want to go where the money is. But I think that lacks innovation. Make your game, make your type of game more appealing to today's climate. Don't just abandon your style.
One of the big things that would have done that would have been with online multiplayer.
Yeah, well, that would have made a big difference, wouldn't it?
I reckon that would have made a massive.
Yeah, but
all well and good for people to play on the couch next to each other, and we had a shitload of fun playing it.
Yeah,
but it's society now. You don't have the time. It's not like when we were kids. Everyone would go to someone's house and play in the afternoon. Everyone goes home. Everyone sits by themselves and.
Well, but you look at who the average gamer is. They're 30-something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, 30-something-year-old...
Anyway,
30-something-year-olds are generally going to work and going home. We're not after school hanging out with our mates, couching, couch playing. Yeah. We're going home. That's right. So the online components need to be there. But that's not saying that they shouldn't try other things. But I just don't think, it doesn't necessarily say that they're completely abandoning their style, but I would like them to sort of evolve what they do into something more acceptable in today's society and today's climate. I don't like the idea of, we're going to go make something else that people want. You do have a fan base there, although
like that, doesn't it?
You might have had some lackluster sales, but you probably need to alter some things, not completely pack up shop and try a different thing altogether. But that's just my opinion. Whatever. You guys are the ones investing your millions of dollars, so whatever to them. But yeah, that's happening. That's a bit sad because those games are pretty cool. All right. Well, that's it for the news. let's go into user-created content. All right, Snoogs, this one could have been a massive war, but I think I've worded it well enough. What do you reckon?
I think so.
So what I've put up...
Luckily, our great faithful community members have actually kept it from going in.
Yeah, we've got really good responses from everyone, which is really cool. But anyway, this week's user-created content is, this is what I wrote. We are recording the next podcast tonight, which is now, and with the Xbox One X coming to our stores next Tuesday, I thought it would be a good opportunity to see what we all think about the mid-gen refresh consoles we have at our disposal. Give your opinions on the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X below for a shout-out on the show. So essentially what I'm asking for here is just what do you think of these consoles and their existence? Not one versus the other, because I'm not really interested in that. Like right now anyway. That is a good topic, but that's not what I'm focusing on here. First of all, we got heaps of comments, but we had liking the post, Brendan Brownie Brown and Paul David Clennett. Thank you very much. We've got our first comment here from Chauncey Gonzalez. He says, Xbox One X may have the hardware, but at this moment, unfortunately, Sony has the better exclusive. And let's not bring this to show. Even Nintendo with the Switch has more exclusive games that made the Switch stand out compared to the Xbox One. So let's hope Microsoft take a giant leap with this mini PC. Look, I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, it might be the way that somebody sees and portrays Microsoft versus the others, but I don't think Nintendo have more IPs out on the Switch than the Xbox. Do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
I think the big thing. Well, I'll chuck my 2 cents in there as well.
Yeah.
After having the run through, especially from Paris Games Week earlier this week, Xbox needs something for that wow factor. They've got some great games that have some great gameplay coming out, but they don't have a Detroit, they don't have a God of War, they don't have a Last of Us, which these are all great games and great storytelling ability, which I'm sure with the stuff that's coming out that's solely for the Xbox One or the One X, they've got that in spades as well, that playability, that story, that interaction, but they don't have that visual wow. Yeah. And
it's not down to the power of the system, it's how great the games are.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Yes, the pros had 12 months more for people to develop with it, but I reckon that the Xbox One X dev kits have been doing around for at least 6 to 8.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing I find lacking, and that's also what makes me very excited to see what the One X is going to produce. What some boffin at Microsoft Studios is cooking up at the moment.
Yeah,
whether it be a new Fable style, just something new that's going to come out to absolutely blow.
Yeah. See, you've even touched on something that I'm going to get into in a moment when we get up to the comments. I can't remember who it was, but we'll get to it in a minute. It's a very, very good point. All right, next one here is from Paul Clennett. He says, blah, 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 exclusive this, exclusive that. Just make a console easier to develop for. Keep the price to a reasonable level and don't fill it with features and stuff that consumers don't want. Give them what they do want and the sales will happen. Hear, hear, brother. Both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are amazing machines, but one thing I don't get is that Sony doesn't have an Ultra HD disc player. To me, that's odd. I'll address that myself in a moment. If I was buying off the right now. If I was buying right now, it would be the Sony PlayStation 4, I guess, Pro, because I have the Xbox One already. My TV, as good as it is, it does not have a 4K. It does not have 4K, so there's no point. Now, backtracking a little bit here, where he says that he thought it's odd that it doesn't have an a 4K Blu-ray player. I have the Xbox One X. Sorry, no, I don't. That's a lie. I have the Xbox One S that has an Ultra 4K player. I've watched one movie in Ultra HD on it, and that came for free with the Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm.
I have no use for that drive whatsoever. I'm not going to go and buy them. I will rent them.
Against it. When the Pro come out, when the Pro come out with just a, I asked the same question. I'm like, why would you put a UHD in it? And watching, for instance, Star Wars on Blu-ray, I don't need a 4K player.
I'm with Sony on this one, and I don't think I think they made the right choice. I think it was a waste of money because the climate today, I don't go out to the shop and get my movies. I'll rent them on the store. What they really need to do is start offering Ultra HD rentals, because at the moment they're all just 1080, they're all just full HD. I would pay an extra $1 or $2 for the UHD version to rent it. But and look, not everybody's going to be able to do that. Some people will have to use the disc. But look, the way things are going, I think a lot of people are just downloading. And in saying that, if you can't download the 4K stuff, I don't know, I guess you are sort of limited to the Blu-ray there. But is it really that bad? Oh, look, you've got a 4K TV. You want to watch stuff in 4K, then I guess you're going to go for the Xbox One S or the One X. That's the decision, and they're going to win over there, because there's no combating the fact that your internet's not good enough for it. But
speaking of 4K telly, though, does yours only do 4K on certain inputs?
No.
Okay.
If it does, it works on the two that I've because I've only got two inputs in it. I've only got the Xbox and the PS4 into it.
Yeah, see, mine's inputs 3 and 4, not 1 and 2.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah, I found that very odd, and when I've actually been looking into it, because I couldn't get the Pro to run originally.
Oh, because it wasn't in a 4K slot.
Yeah. So then I started looking into it, a lot of TVs, and if you just plug the Pro in and don't actually go and look at the settings,
it'll just be 1080.
Goes into 1080.
Yeah, right. No, mine.
So mine went to 2K first off.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah,
then, worked it all out. But yeah, it was I found out that it's actually more common than not that only certain inputs will accept a 4K signal.
Yeah, look, I don't know, because I've not run into that. Both of my inputs, 1 and 2, are 4K, and I think there might be 3. I don't use the third one. But, I do use the third one, but it's for my stereo, which isn't 4K anyway. It's all 1080 stuff. But, yeah, anyway. We'll move on here. We'll go past Bo Pollard's comment here. Honestly, I think the console wars are pointless. They both have extraordinary exclusive and both have great hardware and gameplay opportunities. The one and only thing I hate about Sony is not having crossplay. Other than that, they're both great. I have an Xbox One and a PS4 and I love them equally. Cohen has commented on that one, saying they have crossplay with PC, which is true for maybe 2 titles. And Brendan Brownie Brown said Sony asked for crossplay in the last generation, but it was Xbox or Microsoft that was declining. And guess who was winning that generation? So that's an interesting point. Bo Pollard comes back in, says crossplay on all platforms is my dream. I suppose a lot of people dream of that, but that's something that we wouldn't have even sort of entertained 5-10 years ago. But today, I don't know, maybe it's a possibility. Moving on, Cohen Moore says, take exclusives out of the equation and Microsoft should be winning. They have backwards compatibility, Game Pass, EA Access, 4K HDR Blu-ray player, and fanboys will still argue the better online experience. PlayStation Network is just as good in my honest opinion. I kind of agree with that. From what I've seen, the reason Sony are so dominant this gen is that they have invested in new and interesting IP or intellectual properties. We don't want an 8th Halo game or another Gears of War. Even Crackdown 3 is just more of the same. I think yes or no, yes and no on that comment there. God of War is the perfect example. It's still Kratos, but now he's a dad looking out for his son, and that's enough for me to have an emotional attachment to the characters. It's good that the games are growing up with us, I guess. That's probably what he's saying there. Also, although God of War is just more God of War, which is a little bit contradictory towards his previous comment about 8 Halo games, this is just a new God of War. They've changed it. It's not even the same game. Like, it's completely different point of view, different way to play the game, which is mixing it up and taking a risk. I'll continue with Cohen's comment here. Give me single-player experiences that make me feel something. Every game Sony showed in Paris this week gave me some kind of emotional response. My heart was racing and I had tears in my eyes during the Detroit demo, and The Last of Us 2 genuinely had me scared. Seeing Ellie's mum, yes, I'm pretty sure that was Anna, hanging there after everything else that just happened, and I was like, why the fuck aren't you cutting her down? Hardware means nothing if you don't have anything to play on it. The Switch might just be my favourite piece of hardware ever, and it's an underpowered hunk of trash compared to the Pro and the Xbox One X. So, look, the Xbox does have a lot of great exclusives on there, but I do sort of understand his point there that probably the reason why Sony is getting so much excitement and buzz is that they are making new games. They're making sequels as well, but they've also got a lot of new stuff, which I think is the exciting part. Because
even the sequels pushing. They're pushing that boundary of the technology. They're pushing that, and I think that's one thing that, being a mature gamer, that's something to look out for. We've been through the generation where you had your pixel art and you had your basic polygons and everything like that, and to be able to see something now that's real, it looks, you see the shine of someone's eyes on a screen. That's brilliant. The emotional response that we got from playing Detroit, like I was saying earlier, or the realism that you automatically feel for someone on the screen that you don't get from a cartoony character. I'm not fussed about the cartoony characters and stuff like that. I'm more sort of focusing on the fact that it's just more of the same on the Xbox. And I'm not bashing Xbox because I love it. I haven't played my PlayStation in a while now. I've played everything on Xbox and I'm loving it. But I want Microsoft to have more of a go at exclusive. Like they had Scalebound, which was going to be a new IP. Mm-hmm. But that's gone. They're letting these new IPs go. I don't want another Fable. I've never been interested in Fable. Fable, for me, is nothing. That will not give me any hype. Give us something we've never heard of before. Give us a few things that we've never heard of before. All the big titles over on the Xbox that I am excited to play on the Xbox One X, they're cross-platform. They're multi-platform games. Multi-platform games, yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't have the Xbox, you don't have to get one. You can just go and play that, and it'll be a good experience over on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Probably not as good as the Xbox One X, but is it that much better that you'd go and spend? I'm an idiot, so the answer is yes for me. I'll go and get the X.
You're a techie. You need to.
That's it. That's my excitement. But that's it. They need more new stuff. That's what I think the key is there. Let's keep on with these comments. Ross Mark says, I'm not a fan of these mid-generational console upgrades. They are not a new console in any way. Yes, it is newer. It is a newer, better console, but only an upgrade on the current. I don't buy these unless my current console stops working. Just not worth the money and output for a partial upgrade. I'm not against these upgrades, especially for those who still haven't moved on from the older generation consoles. It's just not for me when I still have a perfectly fine current generation console. As for PlayStation versus Xbox, why not have both? Sounds like the old El Paso girl. Look, fair call. I disagree with the mid-generation upgrade. I don't like it. I've always had this stance. Yes, I support it. I have purchased a Pro and I am getting an X. But if they didn't exist, I wouldn't be like if the idea came across the board again before it happened, I'd still vote no.
Yeah.
I don't like their existence, but obviously that's not my choice. And I will go with the flow because I can't help myself. I'm a tech head, and I just love the stuff. So I'll always go and get the latest and greatest shit.
You'd pull it up. Yeah.
No, I would never do that. No. I don't do that. But hey,
I'd love to see how it ticks.
Oh, I just watched a YouTube video.
I'm with Ross. I don't agree with them. I don't disagree with them. The only reason I have a Pro is because my day one style PS4 died.
Yeah.
Well, it was dying. So before it completely died off, I used it as a trade-in. So yeah, that's the only reason I've got one sitting here. If I didn't, well, I've still got a day one style Xbox sitting to the right of me. So
they'll live forever, that thing, I think.
I think so.
All right.
It hasn't had the workout the other one.
Do what?
It hasn't had the workout that the 4 did.
No, definitely not. All right, Brendan Brownie Brown says, money is better spent on a PC, in my opinion. Most Xbox exclusives are play anywhere titles, which mean you can play them on your PC. And while it's nice to play games like Horizon with the Pro enhancements, the cost doesn't outweigh the small performance boost you get. I agree with that. If you really, really want the best graphics and frames, PC is the way to go. See, you say here, Brendan Brownie Brown, that money is better spent on a PC. Okay. The cost of these consoles is better spent on a deposit for a PC.
Mm-hmm.
That there is the issue. I want to upgrade my PC. The Xbox One X for me is a quarter of the price that I'd probably spend on upgrading my PC when I do. So in the meantime, essentially getting an Xbox One X is my way of getting a budget increase to the gaming power from my PC without upgrading my PC, because it's very expensive to game on PC.
Give it 12 months and they'll have Steam on Xbox.
Steam on Xbox, yeah, probably. And another thing as well, if I want to get a PC that's up there and play 4K, I'm going to have to get a better monitor too, which is even going to be more expensive. I can see why people like consoles, and that's why I prefer upgrading my consoles than my PC, because it is a massive investment for PC. Yeah. You're going to get a lot of use out of it. Like my current PC's 6 years old now, albeit for an upgrade for the video card, but it's old and it's not being superseded anytime soon. It's not the greatest thing out there, but it holds its own, so it's pretty good. But yeah, it's a very expensive venture compared to these consoles. Last one, Zachary Courtney says, having the best of the best doesn't bother me. Why pay so much more money when you can get a normal PS4 or Xbox One that does the same thing? As long as I have something to play the latest games on, I'm happy with that. Well, essentially you are right, because these the original consoles will play everything the Xbox One X and everything the PlayStation 4 Pro will play. Albeit not as high fidelity, but if you just want to play the games and don't really care too much about having the prettiest stuff, save your coin. Did you say something?
It'll still do it. Oh, I was just saying it'll still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's that in a nutshell there. The opinions of our fans, our viewers, our listeners, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So maybe on another day we'll do an Xbox. Oh, here's an idea. I'm going to put this out there. Well, just as a spitballing thing, I've been thinking about it. I want to do an Xbox One X versus PlayStation 4 Pro debate. Whether we open it up to just the PlayStation versus the Xbox debate, you and me versus Stick Figure and Mega.
Oh, God. We'll be here all night.
It's going to be hard to tee it up to make sure we're all available at the same time, but it's something I really, really would love to do. The only thing is, I'm very for both sides, but I think if it's that argument, I'm gonna have to be Team PlayStation versus these boys.
Oh, no, it's not even that argument. It's those two.
Yeah.
You just like to argue against them, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, they're very, very much Xbox fanboys.
Very, very Xbox.
Very, very, very Xbox. Hi guys, how are you? Anyone listening, go and check out Stick Figure and Mega Bad Seed over at Down Under Gaming, and check out Xbox and Chill podcast. It's a good show. And go and check out the episodes I've been on. They're great. They're the best ones. I can't remember what numbers they were. I think there was 29 and maybe 30 something that I was on. I've been on a couple. Go and check them out. All right, let's move on. That was user-created content. Let's go across to What's That Sound? All right, so last week we had Ramutha on the show, and we had this sound effect that none of us got. Have a listen. Xbox exclusive game, that one.
Oh, this is why no one knows what it is.
You see, this is more of what this is more of what Microsoft need. This was a new game that came out. It was a new IP. Didn't do so well, but I don't know why, because it's actually a pretty good game. You know what I'm talking? Is that enough clues?
State of Decay. No, I've got no idea.
No, that was a 360 game. Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the Mummy Respawn or something like that.
I haven't got stuck into that yet.
Yeah, play it. Play it, dude. It's good.
Okay.
It's got multiplayer. If you want to try the multiplayer out, I'll play it with you.
Oh, I'll get it updated then. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, good. All right, and Rem gave us a What's That Sound for this week because Jason is busy. He's doing other things. So are you ready for this week's What's That Sound?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried because it's a 43.1 kilobyte file.
It's huge. All right.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, it's it's probably accurate. It's titled Blind.
I'm blind.
Okay, let's have a listen.
So we're all supposed to be blind then, right? Not just me. All right, fantastic.
Fuck, was that really loud for you?
No, it was good for me.
Oh, okay, that was really
Was
loud
it
for me.
good for you?
How the hell did they fit? That was actually a pretty clear recording. How did that fit into 43 kilobytes?
Magic.
It is a bit of magic. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Do you?
She just used a mum voice and told it to get in there.
Oh, right. Okay. Let's have a listen. Again.
So we're all supposed to be blind then, right? Not just me. All right, fantastic.
Oh, that sounds... It sounds distorted. Oh, I want to hear it again. I'm going to hear it again.
So we're all supposed to be blind then, right? Not just me. All right, fantastic.
It doesn't sound like that's supposed to be... I think it's sped up.
I've got nothing. It sounds very familiar, but
I'm thinking Conker's Bad Fur Day. Sounds a bit cheeky. Doesn't sound exactly right, but I don't know if it's meant to sound like that. I don't know. One more time.
So we're all supposed to be blind then, right? Not just me. All right, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my answer. You got anything?
no.
All right, over to you, listener. If you think you know what this week's What's That Sound is, then send us a message to our Facebook page, and if you are correct, we will send you a free game. If you are not correct, though, this week, you get nothing.
Boom.
I'll reply back to you saying you're wrong. How does that sound? How do you like dem apples? Nothing. Well, I might give you something. I don't know. That's it for What's That Sound. Let's move on to last words. All right, Snoogs, what do you got for last words? Anything?
I do have something very little.
What have you got? Your doodle?
No.
Put your penis away.
Slightly little.
Slightly little.
My house. I'll do it. It's my house. I'll do what I want. I have a little shout out for a company that I found whilst floating around Facebook the other day.
Right.
So,
floating like a pansy.
Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a needle.
Who is it?
Called No Bull Gaming.
No Bull or Noble?
Yeah. No, well, a bit of both, really. No Bull. Nobul.
One word.
No Bull Gaming. Company out of the US, which has just been sort of started up. They are starting to specialise in what they're classifying as professional PC accessories, so keyboards, mice, headsets, mats, all those sorts of bits and pieces. But what they've worked out is one of the things that I was reading about them is they buy stuff off a wholesaler in bulk, so they pass on savings to you, but it's still the same sort of quality. So mechanical keyboards with all RGB, all that sort of stuff. Reason I'm talking about them, being that I'm a PC guy, their special that they have on at the moment. So everyone get over to either their Facebook page and have a look, or even onto their website. I bought a mouse, which I was looking for the specs, but I can't find it. All I had to pay for was the freight. So the mouse was $39.95 US, reduced to $0. And I paid $10 US, which works out about $13-14 to get it over here.
All right. So, well, you'll have to tell us what it's
cool.
like.
So it's I don't think it's. They said something about it. It's going to take a while to get here because obviously there's a lot of people going for it. But yeah, so it's RGB. From memory, it was 3100 DPI, which apparently is not too bad. Which would be good for the editing and stuff that we do. And it's got all the extra little buttons and features and stuff that you get on these new mice. It's not just the two buttons. So yeah, pretty cool. Have a look. You might find something that you like.
Noble Gaming. All right, cool. I got something for last words. There's a little bit of something happening on the 12th of the 12th, 2017. You know what that is, don't you?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, for $39.95?
Yes. Sorry.
PUBG.
PUBG
for the Xbox One is coming the 12th of the 12th, 2017, and will be $39.95 Australian, which is a reasonable price considering the thing. It's $30 US on Steam, I think it was.
Did you happen to notice the little bit of extra info underneath the release note?
Oh, that it's like preview program. Yeah, it's early access stuff. So that's their way of going, we'll release it now, get some money, but if it's broken as fuck, because it's not finished yet.
That's why, yeah.
I think it's still in early access on PC too, so yeah. As long as it's up to date with PC, I know with back in the day when Minecraft was up and coming, on console, it was like 12 months behind update-wise, the PC version. So as long as they keep it up to date on both around the same time, that'll be appreciated. But yeah, so PUBG for Xbox One, coming 12/12/2017, $40 Australian. There you go.
Sweet.
That's all I've got.
Already.
Oh, can you? I might go do that.
Yep.
Anything else, Snoogs?
No, well, we just go through what we've got up on YouTube again at the moment. So I've just recently put up South Park, The Fractured Butthole, and GT Sport reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've put up a couple as well.
I think I did. I put up a review for Spelunker Party. I've put up a video for Super Mario Odyssey Special Edition Switch. I did an unboxing and a cartridge taste test. I taste tested the Switch cartridge, so go and check that one out there. The Evil Within 2 reviews up there. That one's actually really funny, worth watching with the special effects makeup that I did with that one. I'll check that out. There's also my Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus review, which is up there. Go and have a look at that one. That's blocked in some countries. I don't know what countries. Probably Germany, because of the swastika all over it.
It's not being released in Germany.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. But there's no swastikas in that version.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they replaced it. I think they replaced it with a W for Wolfenstein instead of the swastika. Because I think the only thing that is illegal is the swastika.
Yeah,
in Germany. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. If I'm wrong, I apologise, but I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it is also limited because of the song Dankeschön. You know that song? Dankeschön. Yeah, that was in.
When it started playing when I was watching it today, I thought, oh, that's a really good fitting song. Yeah.
yeah. But I thought, because with YouTube's new content thing that, this is not suitable content for advertisers, I figured, it's going to be flagged anyway for not appropriate. So I thought, who cares? We won't monetize it. We'll just just
have fun with it.
Have fun with it. So I put everything and anything in it, and obviously I haven't just gone over the top, but I've used stuff to make it however the hell I wanted, rather than worrying about copyrights and all that sort of stuff. So go and check it out. That's Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus review. Please have a look at that one. That Super Mario Odyssey Switch unboxing's going good for views. People are liking that one.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, that's about it for lately. That's all I got, man. Oh, and there's a whole bunch of Paris Games Week trailers on there too.
Yep.
That's it, Snoogs. Are you done?
Yeah, nothing else from me, mate.
All right. Thank you very much for everyone that's listening, and a very special thank you goes out to anybody that is listening right now. You're listening to the end of the podcast, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's it. Until next week, we'll see ya, and I am, as always, Lucas.
And I have been Snoogs. Thank you very much, everyone.
Gotcha. Well, here we are once again at the end of this week's show. If you're still hungry for more video game content, head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. We also have a heavy presence over on Twitter, so give @AussieGamers12 a follow, and also our YouTube channel is there waiting for you to give it the love that it deserves. This podcast is available for your convenience through iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you all on the next episode of the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.